I've been watching quite a bit of anime with my mates lately, ever since this quarantine happened. One of them had a Funimation subscription, so we decided we'd hop on a Discord call and watch something to pass the time. During this time, we were watching Dr. Stone, which I was invested to ever since the start. On episode 12 or so, one of my friends suggested another anime to watch along with Dr. Stone to keep things interesting. And after several failed attempts of setting up a VPN to get into Japan's Netflix, we finally got to watch it. BNA. BNA is one of those animes that you will always remember for its visuals and quirky characters. I highly recommend you to watch the anime if you haven't. But to give you a refresher, BNA tells a story of a girl named Michiru who was recently turned into a Beastmen, a race of anthropomorphic animals that coexist with humans. Because of the constant protests and dangers of being hunted, Michiru left her home to live in Anima City, a safe haven for Beastmen. There she encounters many characters like Shiro, Mary, and her best friend, Nazuna, who also turn into a Beastman. While there's much to talk about regarding BNA, especially the music, animation, story, and the world itself, I'm more interested of the characters, of which two in particular caught my eye. The different kinds of Beastmen correlate to the animals it is based off of. Shiro is a wolf, and so he has a great sense of smell, and Mary is a mink as she is cunning and sly. But Michiru and Nazuna are different. They can change their limbs into other animal parts due to their unstable genes, like having bird-like wings or cheetah legs. But the animals they are based off of are the tanuki and kitsune respectively. Why those specifically? Well, there seems to be an explanation here in regards to mythology. BNA has a trend with beliefs and ideals, their god being the silver wolf, who they worship for protection. In Japanese, they call him Ginro-sama. Ginro meaning wolf, and sama referring politely to a person typically of stature. In Nazuna's first appearance, she is seen leading the cult of the silver wolf and shows herself as their god. But then after discreetly talking with Michiru, she's revealed to be not a wolf, but a fox. We'll get to that later. But compared to Michiru, who is the tanuki 24/7, she doesn't seem to shy away from using it, and even prefers staying in her beastman form despite the option of taking a human appearance, as she feels it's more convenient. During one of the episodes, she got herself tangled in a game of baseball with a team of bears against a team of flamingos. With them in the losing side, she uses her abilities to make her arms massive to get the upper hand, which ended up winning them the game. This in turn caused her to be reckless with her abilities and show everyone what she's capable of. Getting back on track, we can see the differences between the two characters. Nazuna uses her abilities to take shape of another creature in order to trick others into believing her as a god, and Michiru uses her abilities for baseball. What we can decipher here is that their origin stems from the creature they're based off of, or more so, a yokai. The kitsune is a yokai resembling a fox but with supernatural powers and abilities. They can do almost anything from shapeshifting, illusions, casting blue flames, life draining, to even necromancy. But they are most known for their trickery and mischief with their transforming abilities. Sound familiar? Well, the kitsune are not the only ones with those kinds of abilities, as the tanuki are also known for their shapeshifting abilities and fondness of tricking others. Although their abilities are quite similar, they're more peaceful and tame, unlike wild kitsune. People often have tanuki statues around, wishing for financial luck and success. I also noticed that she had one in her room while watching one of the episodes. Kitsune and tanuki are rivals in their own ways. Some stories even tell them at war with each other. This can be due to them being very similar, or that they generally live in the same habitat. Either way, they're constantly at each other's throats. But some stories are different and see them as allies, partners in crime for mischief and trickery. Either to help each other or to pull pranks, they seem to know how to work together. This goes well with the characters in BNA, who seem to have that rivalry between two friends. Nazuna wishes to be an idol, so she sees being worshipped as a god to be a worthwhile experience like becoming one, while Michiru just wants to play basketball and screw around with friends. They both have different ideals, but share the same fate as they both turn to Beastmen. Nazuna doesn't seem to care about Michiru, for she is blinded by her dream. Michiru doesn't get the idea, and just barges through everyone's business as if everything involves her. The recklessness of Michiru and the ideals of Nazuna creates this chaos where both characters are in a bind of what they should be going after. Michiru supports her friend at becoming an idol, yet the thought of her resembling someone she's not doesn't sit right. And so she tries her best in order to see both worlds, that in the end creates a conflict between all the characters involved. I've already spoiled enough, but I don't want to go in depth with the ending, because that's a whole nother story. But in the end, Nazuna and Michiru realize that they're two sides of the same coin, and soon find themselves working together. Their rivalry is like what they're based off, but shaped to a story. The Kitsune and Tanuki, while not much seen getting along, are very much alike, and with a tight bond, they can both finally play basketball. Thank you for watching this video. This is my first, but I plan on doing more in the future. If you like what you see, like the video and subscribe to stay tuned for the future. Follow me on my social media if you're interested. I'm currently writing a light novel with a friend of mine, focusing on Japanese mythology in a fantasy-like setting. I hope you enjoy, and I will see you all later.